Hi guys, so welcome to Key Stage 2 yoga this afternoon. So it's ideally aimed at 7 to 11 year olds, but other age groups are of course welcome to join in. Now, we're having quite a few issues with our Wi-Fi because our broadband provider has given up on us and it's gone down entirely. So this afternoon's lesson is being shot using my mobile phone and our mobile internet data. So hopefully it's going to survive the course and the lesson will work as normal. So we will give it a go and see what happens. Excellent. I can see that a couple of our little friends have joined us. So hello Thomas and Abigail, nice to see you here. So fingers crossed the mobile phone and the mobile data does its job. So make sure that you have got your mat ready or practice space prepared. Making sure that you have a blanket should you wish to use one for relaxation, and perhaps your favourite cuddly toy to cuddle up with at the end as well. And most importantly, making sure whatever surface that you're practicing on, that you've removed your socks so that you've got really good grip through your feet and you can make good contact with the floor. So as I mentioned, this afternoon we're going to turn into explorers and visit some of our frozen elements of the world. So this theme was come up with by the lovely Lachlan, and he's been busy beavering away earlier this week doing lots of research in this fantastic Frozen Planet book. He came up with loads of ideas for things that we could put into the practice. So I've been looking through those and have put together a frozen adventure for you. So we just wanted to show you a couple of things in the book to give you a flavour of what we might come across this afternoon. So to start with, we have these rather friendly looking little fellas, the macaroni penguins. We have just a picture of some of the glorious landscapes that you might see in the South or North Pole. Okay, and finally, this is Lachlan's favourite picture in the book. This is the picture of the polar bear snuggled up with her cubs on the snowy ground. So those are just a few of the things that we might come across in our frozen adventure this afternoon. So let's get started by coming to a comfortable seated position on your mat or in your practice space. Maybe the legs are crossed, or maybe you prefer to be up on your knees. Either way, growing really tall through the body, lifting that head up towards the sky. So we take 3 deep breaths together with the chime. Each time we hear it, breathing in and out. Lovely. So we are going to be looking a little bit at both the Arctic and Antarctic areas, and that's the North and the South Pole. So in the North Pole, when the sun goes down in September, so around the 22nd, 23rd of September, it then stays down and it's dark there for 6 whole months until the sun comes back up on around the 20th and the 21st of March. So they have 6 months of darkness and 6 months of sunshine, rather than light and dark that we get each day. So to celebrate the fact that it's now past that spring equinox and they're in their period of sunshine, we're going to start today's practice with 2 rounds of sun salutations. So coming all the way up to standing, heading to the top of your mat, standing really tall, bringing the hands together in front of your heart. Today we're going to practice using our breathing to guide us through each movement. So I'm going to give you the instructions of when to breathe in and out. Take them if it works for you. If not, just flow through the poses as normal. So as we stand tall, let's take a deep breath in to prepare and out. As you breathe in, sweeping the arms up high. Breathe out as you fold forward. Breathe in to step 1 leg back. Breathe out, the other leg comes back. Breathe in to lower the knees down. Breathe out as your whole body comes down to the floor. Breathe in, roll the shoulders, looking up at the sun. Breathing out, coming up into downward facing dog. Big breath in and out. Step forward on the breathing in, and then breathe out, the other leg comes forward. Breathe in, stretch out wide and high. Breathe out, hands come back to the heart. Lovely, big breath in here and out. As you breathe in, stretching up high. Breathe out, folding forward. Breathe in, step back with one leg. Breathe out, the other leg comes back. Breathe in, knees lower. Breathe out, the whole body down to the floor. Breathe in, roll the shoulders, looking up. Breathe out, coming up, downward facing dog. Big breath in and out. On your breath in, step forward with one foot. Breathe out to bring forward the other. Breathe in, stretching out wide, really high up. Breathe out, hands come back to the heart. Lovely. So coming back down to the floor for a moment. So in the summer months, when the sun is out in the Arctic, the tundra fills with wildlife. So they have around 48 different mammals and 150 different migrant birds, filling all of that lovely tundra landscape. So we're going to start to explore some of the life that you might see in that Arctic tundra landscape. We're going to start with the Arctic hare. So coming up onto your feet, balancing on your toes. You can have the fingers down to begin with. Once you've got that balance, bringing up those front paws nice and high. Now these Arctic hares are around 3 times bigger than the hares down in the south. So they're really quite large, but they can really jump quite high. So we're going to take 3 big jumps here, just like an Arctic hare. So take a nice big breath in to prepare. And then spring up as high as you can, landing back down. Lovely. Try and land on your feet. We're going to try again, jumping up high, landing back down. Lovely. Once more. Jump up and down. Super. Now these hares are really quite smart. And when they can sense that there might be trouble, they stand up tall on their back legs. So we're going to rise all the way up to standing, keeping those paws in front. Grow tall through your head and carefully begin looking from side to side, seeing if you can spot any danger. Wonderful. Now, one of the biggest dangers to the Arctic hare is their main predator, the Arctic wolf. So we're going to make ourselves into that wolf now, changing from prey to predator. So coming down onto your knees, bringing the hands underneath your shoulders. I'm going to make the shape of the wolf. But wolves are known, like foxes, for having big bushy tails. So I'm going to stretch out one leg behind you and then bend the knee to bring that long tail up high. And then begin to gently sway that tail from side to side. Lovely. Placing the knee back down, because one thing wolves are really famous for is their really loud howl. So coming up onto your knees, bring the hands to the face to make a big long wolf nose. Really deep breath in. We're going to breathe out with a nice wolf howl, okay? So breathing in and out. Lovely. Bring those hands back down under your shoulders. And this time we're going to bring the opposite leg up to make our wolf tail. So stretch that other leg out really long behind you. And then bend the knee to bring up that bushy tail. Beginning to gently sway it from side to side. Wonderful. Placing the knee back down. Rising up tall like a sitting wolf on your knees. Bringing those hands up to make that nose. Take a really big breath in. Wolf howl out. Woo! Fantastic. Because that's so much fun. Should we do one more wolf howl? Yeah? So we're going to take a really big breath into those lungs. Howl it out for as long as you can until you run out of air. Hands to the nose. Big breath in. Howl it out. Wow, well done. So those wolves are really rather keen on eating the mountain hares, but they will also eat the migrant ducks that come back in those summer months. So we're going to make ourselves into one of those ducks that have flown back to the Arctic once the weather's nice. Coming to lay down on your tummy. Then bring the elbows underneath the shoulders so that your head is lifted up. A little bit like a duck swimming on top of the water. And then bend the knees to bring the feet up to make your duck tail feathers. Again, you could gently sway the tail from side to side. Maybe even turning the head from side to side. See if you can get your head and feet going in the opposite direction to each other. So as the head goes left, the feet go right, and vice versa. Wonderful. So coming back to centre, releasing the feet down, and coming back up onto your knees. So we mentioned that there are lots of birds that come back to the Arctic in the nicer weather, but there's one bird in particular that stays in the Arctic all year round. Do you have any idea what that might be? Oh, you didn't bring one. You have got one actually. It's a snowy owl. Okay, so the snowy owl will stay there throughout the whole year. I think they actually prefer it when it's dark because the owls are generally nocturnal. So we're going to have a go at making ourselves into that fantastic snowy owl. So once again, coming up onto your toes, imagining that you're an owl sitting on a perch ready to fly. We need to make some owl wings. So you're going to bring those arms behind you. And you're going to fold the arms like this, so that you're taking a hold of the arms with your hand, as if you're an owl with the wings wrapped up, ready for a snooze. Woo! Watch your balance here, it can be a little wobbly. Focus on the breath as you balance on those toes. Super, then releasing those wings out wide. They have quite a big wingspan, so spread them really high. And then float them back down. Once more up. And float back down. Wonderful. Excellent balancing, guys. From here, we're going to rise all the way up. See if you can stay on your tiptoes as you come up. And then place the heels back down. So another bird that's rather special and really likes to live in the Arctic, and they're quite endangered, but mainly through their own silly activity and not looking after their eggs and babies terribly well, is the light-mantled sooty albatross. I had to look because I can't quite remember the full name of that one. But the albatross has a really vast wingspan, and they're beautiful flyers. So we're going to have a practice at flying now, using some balance. So stand nice and tall, root both feet down. I'm going to be standing on the right leg first. Lift and spread out the toes. Make the leg really strong and rooted down. Then begin to take that left foot back a little bit, staying on the toes to begin with. You'll need to come forward a bit, my love. You can share my mat. Okay, you're going to start to pick up that leg. As you do, spread those really wide wings out to the side. See if you can tip forward. Focus that gaze on something, not moving, to find the balance. It may well wobble, but that's fine. You can always build your way back in. Maybe gently float those wings. Hold that balance if you can. Bring that foot back down. Just give those arms and legs a good old shake out. Wonderful. We're going to give that a try on the other side now. You might notice the balance is better on one side than the other, and that's totally normal. Just notice the difference as you do it. So this time, plant that left foot down into the floor. Really root it down. Sending the leg out behind you. Stretching those wings out wide. See if you can hold that balance. Don't forget to breathe here. Maybe floating those wings up and down. Some of the biggest albatrosses, their wingspan is 3.5 meters. That's wider than this room. It's huge. Lovely. Float that foot back down. So we're staying with this beautiful albatross bird. And when the male is looking for a partner, he likes to throw his head back and make a two-sounded call to try and entice a female to come and join him. So we're going to stand nice and tall through the body, spreading those wings back out wide. Just gently tip your head backwards, looking up towards the sky, making a call. Caw-caw! Super. Release the head back, float your wings down, and then gently tip your chin down towards your chest so that you're stretching through the back of your neck here. Okay, we're going to try that call once more. Stand tall through the head. Spread those albatross wings wide. Gently lift the chin, looking up towards your ceiling. Making that albatross call. Breathe in. Cuckoo! Lovely. Now when that male albatross has been lucky enough to find a female, they will fly and dance in the air together to see if they like how each other dances. So you're going to have a minute or so, maybe less, just to move around your space however you wish as an albatross. So floating those wings. If you're with somebody, you might do a little albatross dance, flying around each other. If not, you can explore the space on your own. Super stuff. So you can move your arms and legs however you wish as you float and dance through the space. Just a few more seconds of dancing together. And then coming back to your personal practice space. Root the feet, stand tall through the head. Roll those shoulders back and down. Close the eyes, take a big breath in. And out. Super. So, the next bird is one of my absolute favourite birds of all time, the penguin. You might remember in that Frozen Planet book we showed you the macaroni penguin, okay? It's not named after pasta, it's named after some funny hats that people used to wear that have yellow feathers similar to the penguin on top of his head. So we're going to practice our penguin walking. So if you head to one end of your mat or practice space, standing really tall, bring your feet and legs together like they're glued together, bringing the hands out to the side, just like little penguin wings. as you slowly waddle from one end to the other, keeping those legs and feet in contact the whole time. Okay, then turning round, walking back the other way. So the penguins have wings, but they don't fly. They use these wings to help them glide and swim under the sea. So come to stand tall, just like your penguin. Lovely. Okay, so the penguins like to lay their eggs on a rocky bit of ground, so it can't be too cold. They like to lay their eggs on rock. So we're going to come all the way down to our knees now and roll ourselves down into the shape of a penguin egg, which also just happens to be the shape of a rock too. So allow your head to rest down and yourself to curl up really small. So the macaroni penguins are like the most successful breed of penguins in the and they live in the sub-Antarctic islands, so down at the South Pole. There's over 9 million recorded breeding pairs when the book we took the information from was written. So they're thriving down there. There's loads and loads of them. So space gets a little bit cramped, so your egg perhaps could be a little tiny bit smaller here, as everybody fights for that tiny bit of space to lay and keep their egg warm. Lovely. Slowly unroll yourself back out. So there may be lots and lots, and we're talking millions of these macaroni penguins, but they have a really big predator that likes to eat them, thinks they're delicious. And their main big predator is the leopard seal. So we're going to come down to make ourselves into that leopard seal, and they're really quite big and they look quite mean too. So come to lay on your tummy, bring your arms down by your side. As we make ourselves into a seal, going to roll the shoulders, lifting your head and chest with your hands being your flippers down by your side. Lovely. Lift that head and chest just a fraction higher if you can. Take a big breath in and out. Bring in one arm underneath you as you roll onto your side, posing just like a seal on a rock. And then from here, rolling over onto your back. Because a leopard seal has just one natural predator, and that predator is the orca whale, which is also known as the killer whale. So we're going to make ourselves into that whale now by bringing our feet to the floor at the same width as our hips. Rest the arms down alongside your body, and to make our whale shape, you're going to push down into your feet, lift your hips up towards the sky. So you take a big breath in and out through your blowhole. Breathing in, big breath out, blow it out. So lower those hips down, take a little rest for a minute. Maybe swish the knees a little from side to side. So as we move back up to the North Pole, they have some different whales there. They have a lot more beluga whales and narwhals, which, to be honest, I thought were a made-up creature, but apparently they do exist. So neither of those have their dorsal fins on their back, which makes it easier for them to navigate through the narrow gaps in the ice that happen in the warmer weather, so that they can swim through. So this time we're going to make ourselves into a narwhal. So make sure you have a little room above your head here, because a narwhal has a really long horn, although it's actually not a horn, it's coming from a canine tooth. So we're going to come back into that whale shape, push into the feet, lift your belly up high. But this time, see if you can pick up the arms, bring the hands together and send them all the way overhead to make that long horn on top of your narwhal. Take a big breath in and out. As you lower the hips back down, bringing the arms over and then coming up onto your knees. Okay, so there's one iconic creature that we've missed, and you might remember we showed you a picture of it at the beginning, and that's the polar bear. So the polar bear will mainly eat seals for dinner. It can't always find a lot to eat, so it will eat the carcasses of narwhals or beluga whales if it's really hungry, and that's all it can find. So our polar bear is going to be sitting down on its knees. I'm going to place the hands on top of the knees. As you take a big breath in, breathing out, lifting the paws up, roaring out. Hands come down, breathing in. As you breathe out with a roar. Once more, you're going to roar with me, breathing in and out. Fantastic. So making your way down to lay on your back as we think a little more about the landscape in these frozen places. So laying on your back, bring your legs really tightly together and your arms resting on top of your body so you're as narrow as you can possibly be. As you pause here a moment, imagine that you're an icicle dangling down from the tip of an ice cave. Now spreading the arms and legs really wide. Imagining you're a snowflake falling in a blizzard. Wonderful. Float those arms high above you, keeping the legs wide as the hands come together. Making the shape of a snow volcano. There's lots of these in these frozen places. Take a big breath in and out. And again in and out. And then move the arms and legs to find a comfortable place for you to lay for relaxation. So pop on a blanket if you wish to use one, grabbing your favourite cuddly toy if you wish to snuggle in with it. Have a little fidget, find that comfortable place, and then allow the eyes to close. As you imagine you're exploring in the Antarctic region. It's incredibly cold. As you walk, you listen to the sound of the snow crunching beneath your feet. You notice the crisp, cold temperature in the air. Feeling the texture of the ground crunching beneath you. The soft snow begins to fall from the air. A little blizzard blowing all around you. looking around, noticing what you might see beyond the snowflakes. Listening to the sound of the wind and the crunch of each footstep. Continue to explore for a few moments longer, imagining all the things you might see and hear. And slowly beginning to wriggle your fingers and your toes. Drawing your knees in towards your chest. And carefully bringing yourself up to a seated position. Growing tall through the crown of your head as you bring the hands together in front of your heart, taking 3 deep breaths together with the chimes. As we bow our heads to one another. Namaste. So thank you very much for joining us on this afternoon's Frozen adventure. I do hope that the mobile phone and Wi-Fi held up and you didn't have any disruption in the video at your end. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We will be back here again on Tuesday and Thursday next week at 1:30. So that's for early years and Key Stage 1 on Tuesday. So ideally ages 4 to 7, but as ever, other ages can join in. And on Thursday for Key Stage 2, those aged aimed at 7 to 11. We also have family yoga on Zoom on Sunday, so check out the events page if you are interested in finding out more about how you can participate in yoga together as adults and children. But until then, we look forward to seeing you again soon. Enjoy the sunshine, have a great time and take care. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.